Hello, viewers. Welcome back. So, this is part three of our Billwise feature series of Tally. In this session, we will understand the second method of adjustment, that is against reference. So, in the last session, we understood when do we select new reference, and so we know that whenever there is a new invoice that you are raising on your customer, or you are accounting for a new invoice of a single party or multiple party, you will always select new reference. So now in this session, we will see when do we use the against reference. So in my introductory class, I had mentioned briefly about the four method of adjustment. Hope you can recollect the four method of adjustment. So quickly, one is the new reference, against reference, advance, and on account. So the second method of adjustment is the adjustment of against reference. So normally we would select, it is logical for us to understand, it's very simple to understand that I have raised a new invoice, I have selected new reference, so that my outstanding statement is going to tell me this particular party against this particular invoice x amount is outstanding. Okay, now when I am receiving money from this customer, or again you have to just visualize on the payment side also, it is the same concept. Okay, so when you are receiving money against that pending invoice, obviously you will select against reference, right? So that's the common uh, default set of that you will common, or the default setup that you will do. Now I will tell you uh, four use cases where you can set off the uh, against reference. Okay, so use case number one is, yes, you're receiving money against a particular invoice. So when you are accounting for the receipt of money, or when you are accounting for the payment of money, you will get the list of all outstanding. So the moment you select the reference called against reference, Tally is going to give you the list of all invoices that are pending. We will see that in Tally just now. So you will select a particular invoice against which the money is received, and you set it off against the receipt. Okay, so that's one use case where you get an amount pending against the invoice, and you set off that the pending invoice. Number two, sometimes you might receive a part payment towards a pending bill. For example, let us say you have an invoice pending amount of 1 lakh rupee, and the customer, for some reason, he pays say 50,000 rupees, and he very clearly mentions that you kindly adjust this 50,000 rupees as part payment against the pending bill of so and so. So now when you are receiving, you are going to select against reference, and it is Tally is going to give you the list of all the invoices pending, and you will select that particular invoice. And in this case, whatever is the amount that you are receiving, you will set it off against that, and Tally will automatically start maintaining the balance receivable amount, which it will show you in your outstanding statement of that particular party. It will tell you original opening amount was 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, and now pending amount is 50,000 rupees. So that's the second use case, where when you receive part payment against a particular invoice, you can set it off against it. Number three, sometimes in businesses, you might receive a post dated check. So that is, let us say today is 14th of July. Today is 14th of July, and the bill pending from your customer is due on today. Now the customer calls up and says, see, this particular invoice is pending today. So what I will do, I am arranging for some fund. So I will issue a post-dated check. against this particular invoice number 10. Let's take an example, invoice number 10. So now you are going to receive money, and the money that you are receiving is basically not as on the current date, because in any case the check that you are receiving today, you cannot deposit in the bank, because the instrument date is future date. Let us say the person has given you dated 1st of August 2021. So now you need to account it. So when you are accounting this post dated entry, you will now again select against reference. So when you select against reference, you are going to get the bill pending, and you will knock it off against that particular invoice for which the money has been paid. Now, the very important aspect that you have to understand here is that this entry that you are recording is a post dated entry. So which means, so like I said, today is your current date, whatever is your entry. Again, Tally is not going to take the system date, right? So if you take in Tally, you know that, we have seen in the introduction of Tally that on the left hand side corner, Tally says what is the current period. So that is what is going to be the current period. Within that current period, whatever is the last date of your voucher entry for that company for that current period is what is the current date. Okay. So let us assume that the current date as per my company for the current year is 14th of July. Now I'm going to record this receipt entry, which is dated 1st of August. Now we are today on 14th of July. I mean, I can't enter something futuristic date. All right. So which means basically, as far as Tally is concerned, the moment you start capturing any transaction, normally by giving a particular date, in this case, we are giving futuristic date. So when I'm going to enter 1st of August, then Tally will assume that the current date is 1st of August, which is not right. So how do we handle this? So one is we have solved the problem of against reference, right? So I've knocked off the bill, but then how do I handle this? So Tally has an option where whenever you are receiving money or when you are making payment, which is a post-dated receipt of amount or post-dated payment of amount, so you have an option where you can mark that particular receipt voucher or a payment voucher as a post-dated transaction. Now what is the advantage? See, the advantage of capturing any futuristic entry. Okay, you really don't have to wait till 1st of August to go and make that entry. So you have received the check today. So you account in your books of account dated 1st of August and mark that particular voucher as post dated. So the advantage here is that Tally will not consider the value that you have entered, which is going to impact at a future date. When you see your, so you are, even though you have entered a voucher on 1st of August, because you have marked that particular voucher as a post dated transaction, so Tally is going to give you all the report as on your current date. So it will not bring those values of the future. Like for example, so this particular party, let's say 1 lakh is the amount outstanding, and what you do, so you will debit your bank account, which means basically money in your bank is going to increase, and you're going to credit party account, which means, let's say if this is the only bill pending, the outstanding is going to be completely knocked off, and it is, there is no outstanding, right, as on today. But then this impact has to happen on 1st of August, right? So by marking this entry as a post dated entry, when you come to your bank account as on today, which is your current date 14th of July, the 1 lakh rupee that you have received as a post dated information, that will not get reflected. It will still give you the correct balance in your bank. Now this is very very important. Okay, so it is going to give you the correct balance. Similarly, when you go to the outstanding statement of the particular party, Tally is still going to show that as on today it is outstanding. Now when your normal entries reaches 1st of August, that means when your current date moves on, and when you reach the date of 1st of August, then this post-dated entry will get converted into current entry, and from 1st of August it will start getting reflected in your normal books of account, so that this impact is now going to increase. So when you, on 1st of August, this 1 lakh rupee that you have received will increase your bank balance and also reduce the outstanding from the party. So that is the advantage of post dated. So these are the three use cases where you are receiving money: full payment against invoice, part payment against invoice, post dated check. Again, the post dated check could be full payment against invoice or part payment against invoice. The fourth use case, where you will select against reference, is in the case of sales return or purchase return. So when a customer is returning some goods for whatever reason, the goods might be wrongly supplied, or there might be some defect in the goods, whatever is the reason, so the customer is going to now return that material back to you. Now when the customer is returning the material back to you, the amount, so let's again take an example. So let us say you have raised an invoice of 1 lakh rupee to a customer. Some material you have supplied. Now the customer is returning 10,000 rupees worth of goods back to you. So now, what is the amount you have to receive after considering this returned value amount? The net amount that you are going to receive is going to be 90,000 only, right? So your original invoice, you made new reference and it is showing as 1 lakh rupee. So now your outstanding statement should reflect the net amount that you are actually supposed to receive from your customer. So now, whenever you make a credit note against a supply that you have already made, for which you have captured new reference for your billwise detail, now you have to set off against that new reference whatever is the value of your credit note that you are raising. So when your billwise detail opens up in the credit note for the party, you will select against reference. So 1 lakh was credit note, basically party account will be credited, right? So 1 lakh debit amount outstanding from original invoice. Now you are setting off against reference with that original invoice. The amount of 10,000 here, the party account is going to be credited. So 1 lakh debit, 10,000 credit, 90,000 rupees is what is going to be the outstanding. So again, when you are returning material to your supplier, you will raise a debit note. So when you are raising a debit note, again you will set off against reference with the original invoice that you have accounted of purchase. In this case, it is the original invoice of sale. So these are the four use cases where you will use against reference. Now quickly we will go to Tally, and then we will see how do we pass this transaction, and then we will witness how you capture these data and how the outstanding statements are going to reflect. So again, I'm going to start with Tally Prime. uh, like I said in my earlier session, for under the new reference, there is no major change in the way that you are going to capture your billwise detail information for against reference, whether you are going to capture in Tally Prime or you are going to capture in Tally ERP. So let's start with Tally Prime. So we are in Tally Prime. So let us go to the outstanding statement and then view the outstanding statement. Now, I've already captured multiple bills, so that we don't have to really spend time passing those entries. I'm sure that you are aware now. You are comfortable that whenever you are making a new purchase entry or sale entry, you will start capturing the new reference, right? So I have already created the sample data. So we will take one party where there are multiple bills outstanding, and then we will start using all these four use cases and then see how it impacts your books of account. Okay. So now the advantage in Tally Prime is that our secret number 3, if you recall, during the introduction I had given you 3 secrets. So our secret number 3 is go to, which is Very convenient in Tally Prime for you to quickly navigate to any report. So you really don't have to worry about the menu route. So you don't have to worry whether it is an accounting report or statement of account or which report. You don't have to worry. So you have to see now bills receivable, right? So you click on go to. So I'm going to type bills receivable. So bills. So you already have this, enter, and it is now going to give you the list of pending bills of all the parties based on your voucher date. So you will see this. It starts from the beginning of from the older date or from the earlier date to the current date. Okay, and it is going to give you the list. So here, if you notice, you have India Mart where there is one bill pending which was raised on 15th of April, then on 2nd of June. So this way you will see this same party getting repeated based on the date on which the invoice have raised, and this is what is your invoice reference. Now, if you notice here, the amount which is pending amount, all this amount are in bold. So what do we understand by this? Yes, I think obviously you would have understood why it is in bold. Very simple. So this is your date of your invoice. Based on the credit period due date that you have entered, Tally is telling you on what date these invoices are due. And if you see, the current date is 1st of December. So if you take, let's take the this particular invoice. Now this particular invoice was raised on 2nd of June, invoice number 6 to India Mart. The value of the invoice is 1,20,000, and you have given 25 days credit. So 2nd of June, it says due on 27th of June. That means you would have given 25 days credit period. Even after 25 days, the amount is still outstanding with this party. That means the party is not made the payment. So as on today, as on the current date, if you see, the bill is being outstanding for 157 days. So any value in the bills receivable, if you are seeing them in bold, that's an indication that these amounts are overdue. When you say overdue, they are pending beyond the credit period that has been provided to your customers. Okay? And if you notice here, the last invoice where if you recall, again we had created this new customer invoice in our previous session. So we had raised on 1st of December, and we said 30 days credit we are providing for this customer. So 40,000 rupees, the amount here is in the normal font. Why? Because as on the current date, which is 1st of December, this bill is not due. And you will also, and it also tells you that when is this bill going to be due. So this bill is due on 31st of December, right? So there is no overdue. That is why this amount is in the normal font. Now this way, if you see, it becomes a little difficult for you to see each party, what is the total bill that is outstanding, what is the total amount of outstanding. If you want to see, then very simple. See, remember your secret number one. So you see on the right hand side button bar, there is one button F8 which says ledger wise bills. So you are asking Tally to uh, provide this report ledger wise, and against that particular party, ledger is party, against this particular party, now give me what are the bills that are outstanding. So it becomes easy for us to view and analyze the report. So I'm going to click on ledger wise bill. So now each party, it is now going to give you in the same order, older bill to the later bill. So let us take, so we are going to take this use case of India Mart. This is where I've already captured transactions. So India Mart, if you see, now it's very clear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 invoices which you have raised, and the total amount outstanding is 475. Okay, so all the invoices are overdue. Okay, so this is another view where you can quickly see the bill wise information for party wise. Now let us take the first use case. The first use case is, let's take this uh, okay, let's take the 15th April, 90,000. So now the customer is giving you the payment for this 90,000 rupees, and he says this amount or this payment is against your sale invoice number one. Right. So now I'm going to uh, make a receipt invoice. So I'm just seeing here the outstanding. So I have my say the customer is giving me a check. And now I know this. So I come to my outstanding. I see bill number one, 90,000 is outstanding. So he has given me the amount of 90,000. So now I'm going to pass an entry. So how do I pass an entry? Now again, the advantage of Tally Prime is the navigation across the software is very very simple now, very easy. You really don't have to go backwards and forward for you to do your activity. Now what do I need to do? So I have to start capturing the receipt voucher. So your secret number 3, right? Now you use this go to, right? You press Alt G or you can click through your mouse. And if you notice here, you will see that various actions can be performed. So one is that you are in the report, and when you go to, Tally is going to give you a list of all those reports. And again, in our introduction session, we have discussed in detail about these reports, what are these reports, and how you can expand this report, how you can access this report. We had discussed, right? So what is that we want to do? So if you notice here, this is very important. So if you see here, from here there are various actionables that you can perform from the go to option. So that means you can alter a master, you can create a new master. What is that we want to do? We want to now create a voucher. So what I do is I come here, press enter, create voucher. It is taking me to the voucher entry screen. So my previously saved voucher is payment. So now I want to make a receipt voucher. So again, we know right hand side button bar, I press F6 receipt, and let us say I'm receiving this on 2nd December. All right. So enter. So I'm going to credit party India Mart. Enter. And now, if you see here, there are two ways of setting off your invoice against reference. Now, this, if you notice here, this is the default option. So the moment you select the party, it will take you to the amount. Now, where you are going to enter the amount, and then you are going to say this amount you are receiving against this particular invoice. Now, the other way of setting off your invoice, that is selecting your against references, you can pre-allocate invoices for your receipts and payments, right? So how do I do this? So when I say pre-allocate, the moment I select this party, my billwise details should open so that I know against which all invoices I am receiving the money. I select that, and the total of that particular invoices amount will get auto captured in your amount column. Okay. The current one is you are entering the amount and then setting off the invoices. So if you want to pre-allocate invoice, how do you do this? Remember your secret number 2. So press F12 configuration, and if you see here, there is this option called pre-allocate bills for payment receipt and journal voucher. So whenever you are using a payment voucher, receipt voucher, you can pre-allocate. And journal voucher, yes, some companies they would want to capture the receipt and payment through journal. So Tally is also provided where at the option of the user, if that is the practice for them, Tally is allowing them to capture receipt and payment through journal with some configuration also. Okay. So now I'm going to say yes, I want to pre-allocate. Press enter, yes, press Control A, and now let's see what happens. Now when I select India Mart and when I press enter, the billwise allocation screen opens. Okay. So now, and again, by default, Tally will now know, because you are making a receipt entry or you're making a payment entry, it will automatically put the cursor under the method of adjustment against reference. Normally it is going to be against reference. So you're going to say against reference. And now if you notice here, Tally is giving you the list of all pending bill of this particular party. Okay, India Mart. So these are the pending bill. So he's given me 90,000 rupees against invoice number 1. So I'm going to select invoice number 1. the value gets captured, enter. Okay. And in case if the payment is made against multiple invoice, you can again select against reference. Sorry, you can again select against reference, and you can go and keep knocking off the invoices based on the amount that is paid against the invoice. Now in this case, the customer is paid only against my invoice number 1. So what you do, how do you break this? So you select end of list, enter, and the amount will automatically get captured, and you are now debiting your bank account. See, this pre-allocate becomes much easier, faster for you, especially when you are making a payment against your outstanding multiple bills, right? So that you will know exactly what is the amount, total amount, for which you have to do a bank transfer, or for which you have to print a check. So Tally also has a banking feature where Tally allows you to print the check. All you need to do is just make a payment voucher, party name, every information Tally will capture, and automatically it will print on your check. We will see that when we come to the banking module session. Okay. So when you are making payment for multiple bill, pre-allocate will help you to quickly get your total amount of the payment that you're going to make. Whichever way you're comfortable, you can use either pre-allocate, or you can enter the amount and then allocate it. So it all depends on the choice of the user. So I'm going to debit this, enter, accept, right? So now my advantage is that from the outstanding statement of the party, I have come to my voucher entry. So when I press escape and when I go back, you will now see that India Mart bill number 1, which was due, is now not getting reflected because that outstanding is set off against the receipt. So now bill number 6, 10, 11, and 15 is outstanding, right? Now, since we are going to take the use case of this particular party, there is another way of viewing your outstanding for a particular customer. So how do we do this? So again, what you do is you come here, and then you can say Alt G, and this time you say ledger outstanding. Okay. So ledger outstanding means you are asking Tally to give the list of all the ledgers for which the bills are outstanding, and you will select the ledger, and then you want to analyze. So I'm going to say ledger outstanding, and I'm going to say India Mart. So here now it is only going to give me the outstanding information detail of the selected ledger, which is my India Mart. So you will see that bill number 1 is set off or knocked off. Okay. So this is how you make the payment against reference for full. Now quickly let us see uh, against reference for part payment. So this invoice number 6, right? So the invoice number 6, if you see, the opening amount is 1,20,000 and pending amount is also 120. So if you want to just see the sales voucher to find out what items you have supplied and all those detail, in case you want to see, again, you don't have to worry, you don't have to go back to your menu and then see this very simple method. I'm going to now show you one very mm, you can say magic of Tally, right? But see, whenever you're seeing a report, if you want to explode that particular information of your selected transaction or your master or in the report, so you have to just press shift enter. Just press shift enter. Just press shift enter. When you press shift enter, it is going to explode. Now if you press alt F5, alt F5 is detailed, right? So when you press alt F5, it is going to give you these all the detailed information of your invoice, which what we are seeing here, for all the bills. Supposing if there are more bills, you will get long thing. I just want to see only one information in the detail format, right? So instead of pressing alt F5, I will now press shift enter. Okay. I'll press shift enter. Now it is giving me my sales voucher detail. So take your cursor to the sales voucher, and now when you press enter, it is now going to take you to the sales voucher. Okay. So I'm going to press escape, So 120, let us assume that he is paying 60,000 rupees, 50% is making payment, right? So one is that we saw that from the report how you can go to voucher creation screen. So we saw in go to there is one voucher creation screen, and so this is the new option that is there in Tally Prime. The other option is that if you have seen my video on how to add a voucher, insert a voucher, cancel a voucher, delete a voucher, duplicate a voucher. So in that session, I have shown that from the report. So currently, I am seeing outstanding report. So from the report, how you can go and insert a voucher or add a voucher. So here, what I want to do, I want to create a voucher. Earlier, what did we do? We went to go to, and then it was very easy. It says create voucher, and we went there. So the other way, the traditional way, or the old way is this is available in Tally ERP also. So the old way is, so your cursor is now there on sales voucher. So you have to just say Alt A. So the keyboard shortcut I have discussed, I've given you the keyboard shortcut in that particular video, and also I have given the list of keyboard shortcut in the description. So the keyboard shortcut to add a voucher is Alt A. So when I go to Alt A, it is giving me my sales voucher, and here I'm going to just convert into receipt voucher, and I'm going to say 2nd of December. Again, India Mart, enter. So this is pre-allocation. So against reference, now against reference invoice number 10. So when I select against reference, it is going to give me my full value of the invoice which is outstanding. But the customer is paying me only 50%. So I'm going to enter 60,000, enter, credit, end of list. Okay, so bank account is debited. So nothing else to be captured. So I'm going to press Control A. Right. So now you will notice that your invoice number 10, you have received 50%, which is 60,000. So it says the opening amount was 1,20,000. The pending amount now is 60,000. So which means you have received partial. So if you want to see the detail of your sales voucher and your receipt voucher, so just highlight that particular reference and then press Shift Enter. It is now going to give you the detail of this outstanding, how this outstanding has arrived. So it says on 3rd of June, 1,20,000 debit amount. So that is what is your opening amount. On 2nd December, you have received 60,000 credit. So the balance amount outstanding is 60,000 debit. So this is how you can explode. So Shift Enter again to collapse, Shift Enter to explode. This is a very useful keyboard shortcut. Remember or make a note of this. Many places you can use this to avoid one long list of detailed information, right? So specific selective information, use this Shift Enter. Right. So this use case number 2 is over. Let's take use case number 3. So use case number 3 is that the customer is now going to give you uh, a post-dated check, right? So see, our current date is 2nd of December, right? So the customer is giving you a post-dated check against your sales invoice number 11 for the entire amount of 1 lakh, right? So I'm going to say Alt G, and then I'm going to say create voucher, right? So receipt is there since that's my previously saved voucher. So I'm going to now say he's giving me this post-dated check dated 31st December. Okay. Now, if I save this as it is, my current date will show as 31st December, which is not right. Right. So what I'm going to do, see your secret number 1. So your secret number 1, on the right hand side button bar, you have this button called post dated, right? So click on post dated. Now it is saying the status is post dated. Enter this on the future date. So I'm going to credit India Mart against reference number 11. Okay, amount credited, enter, accept, my bank account is debited, Control A. Right. So I have now If you want to see your previously saved voucher in your voucher screen, just press page up. It is going to give you your previously saved. Page up is previous, page down is subsequent. Okay. So now 1 lakh I've received. If you see here, there is this flag called post dated flag, or the status of the voucher. Tally says that this is post dated. That means this 1 lakh rupee is not going to impact your bank balance as on today. Today is 2nd of December for this company. It is going to impact only on 31st of December. Similarly, the balance outstanding of 1 lakh against this invoice as on 2nd December still stands outstanding till your current date reaches 31st of December. Okay. So let us see the report now. Okay. So now I'm seeing this report. Invoice number 11. My date is on 31st, 2nd of December, right? My sales invoice 1 lakh, pending amount is 1 lakh. Now I know that this party is given me post dated check. So how do I now, as on today, I just want to see, okay, what are all the post dated check that in some businesses, I mean, like generally you will collect a post dated check and then only you do a supply. So that way, if you have for multiple bill post dated checks and for multiple customers you have post dated check, the current date balance is going to remain as it is. So if you want to just include the post dated transaction and then see the report, how would it look when you reach that particular date? There is an option in Tally where you can see now. So it says now opening amount is 1 lakh. So our concentration is 11th, bill number 11. So opening amount is 1 lakh, pending amount is 1 lakh. So here what you do is you come to basis of value, and there is this option called here include post dated voucher. By default it will be no. So now when you say yes, control A, and now if you notice it says even though you are on 2nd of December, it is now including a post dated voucher which is going to have impact in your books of account on 31st of December. If you include, so it adds a new column saying that your pending amount is 1 lakh, but you have a post dated amount of 1 lakh that you have received, which is dated 31st of December. If I consider this, then the final balance outstanding for this particular invoice from this party India Mart is going to be zero, right? So now, so I have to include this post dated. Let us assume that I don't want to include this post dated. So basis of value, come here, and this is actually a toggle option. So you press enter to make it no, press enter to make it yes, right? So you can't type YN here. So include post dated, I'm going to say no. And let us assume that your current date is reached 31st of December. All right. So how do I see this? Very simple. You change the period, right? You change the period F2, and then you say 1st of April to assume that it is 31st of December. Enter. The moment you bring this, if you notice here, as on 31st of December, that invoice number 11 is cleared. So it is not showing. So let me just remove, I mean, like collapse that in detail. See, your invoice number 11 is not getting displayed here because your current date is now gone to 31st of December. All right. But once you come back here again, it is always going to be, your current date is always going to be as per your last regular voucher date. The 31st of December is post dated entry. So it is going to show you 11. This is how you can account for post dated check. So we have seen full payment, part payment, post dated. The last one that we are going to see is the against reference used in your credit note. Okay, so let's take this sales invoice number 6. Okay, so I'm going to explore this. Let's go inside and then see what did we supply. So we have supplied Dell laptop i5, two numbers. Now let us assume that this customer is returning one laptop which is defective. So you are raising a credit note and he says, I'm returning, I don't want, so you reduce my balance. So now you are going to raise a credit note. So important information that you need to capture, especially from the GST point of view. For the credit notice, you have to make sure that you capture the original invoice number and the original invoice date. So your original invoice number, for which we are now going to make a credit notice, invoice number 6, dated 2nd of June, right? So now I am coming to Alt G, and then I say create voucher, and then I'm going to press F10, that is other vouchers, click other voucher, and then select your credit note. So if you can remember Alt F6, you don't have to press F10 and then select it. Once you come into the voucher, press Alt F6, it will automatically take you to credit note. So I raised my credit note here, enter. Let us say I am raising this credit note on 2nd of December. That's my current date. Enter credit note. So now party is India Mart. Enter. Right. So this is where it is asking you your original invoice number. Right. So original invoice number is 6. Date is 2nd June. Okay. So I accept this. Then your ledger is sales account. Originally you credited. Now you're going to debit, and you're going to credit the party. So what is the item? Dell i5 laptop. One number is returning. So the amount will automatically get captured based on your sales to this party, which is your sales invoice number 6. Okay. Amount. Enter. Enter. And now this is very important. Okay. Enter. So bill wise detail is opening. So now you are going to reduce your outstanding amount from 120 to 60,000. So you are going to select against reference, and you are going to select invoice number 6. Okay. Invoice number 6. Enter. Accept. Enter. So now you come back here, and you notice here invoice number 6, we had only sales invoice, which was on 2nd of June. So the opening amount was 120 debit amount. On 2nd of December, you raised a credit note, which is credit note number 2, for an amount of 60,000. So now your pending amount is 60,000 only. So the pending amount is what is going to tell you what is the total amount pending from this customer. Is you're going to get the total, and these are going to be the detail or the breakup of this pending amount according to the invoices, which is also going to give you the information about when it is falling due, by how many days it is overdue, and all those things, right? So I hope this session would have given you clarity on what are the various use case scenarios where you will select the method of adjustment in billwise detail as against reference. So in the next session, we will see the other two method of adjustments, that is the advance and the on account. Okay. So thank you all for staying till the end. See you all in the next session with the rest of the method of adjustment of advance and on account. Thank you very much.